So you have a startup idea. That's great. But this is just the beginning. So many of us have so many great ideas which we never execute. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the process that I have followed to bring an idea to life. So the first step is market research. When it comes to market research, you should start with reaching out to your potential customers. That's the best research you can do. So basically, try to find the demography of the problem that you're trying to solve and reach out to people in that demography and have a conversation. Maybe send out a survey or do an interview just to figure out if they actually have the problem and also how much of a problem it is for them. And if they're solving the problem using an existing tool or an existing service. Also, try to understand if they're willing to pay to get that problem solved. So this will help you to understand the customer base of the product that you're working on and how big of a problem that is for them and if it is worth solving. And also you can do some secondary research by Googling alternatives that is already out there and also for just competitors that you might need to be aware of. So once you have done your market research, the next step is building. You have to get to this step as soon as possible because don't overthink your market research, don't overanalyze, just get to build something so you can start executing. So when it comes to building the first version of the product for the idea you have, you should always focus on starting lean, which means you need to find the most important feature or the feature set that needs to be built, and you should build an MVP, which is a minimum viable product. So a minimum viable product should be minimum viable at the same time. So minimum means you need to just focus on the core feature or the feature set, and it needs to be viable enough so it is a product users can safely use and has a good UI for them to navigate and is fully functional. Remember to remove any nice to have features in this version. Just focus on the core version or the core feature set you need to solve the problem in hand. When it comes to building the MVP, if you're a developer like myself, you can code it yourself. If not, if you don't have that capability, you can try finding a technical co-founder who can help you to build the MVP. The other option is to use a no-code tool like Bubble.io, Airtable or Wix, which can help you to put together the initial version of your product quick and easy. You can also consult or hire a freelancer or an agency to build your MVP as well. The key point here is to build it quickly as possible but still have a viable product. So the next step is launch. Once you have the MVP, this is the most important thing. You launch in the product the right way and getting it in front of your actual customer base. So the first thing you can do is, since you've already interviewed, reached out to potential customers in your market research phase, you can reach out to the same people and ask them to use the product and see what they think, get their feedback. Also, you can ask them directly that if it is solving the problem, do they like the solution that you've built, and also if they're willing to pay for it, and see if they'll become paid customers. And if they're not willing to do that, ask them why. This information is really important so you can tweak and improve the MVP you have in hand. You can then reach out to a wider audience by reaching out to forums or going to events where your target customer base attend. You can also find groups in different social media platforms where your target customer base are active, and then you can start reaching out to a wider audience by launching your product in platforms like Product Hunt, Hacker News, and so on. Then you should think of more ways to organically market and make traction to your product. You can think of unique marketing strategies that would work based on the nature of the product you've built. Now you have launched your product. The next step is gathering feedback and metrics to improve it. So you can reach out to your customers and users directly to get their direct feedback on different features of the product. You can also send out surveys, as well as you can have sections in your product to directly submit feedback on different features. You can also integrate tools like Hotjar, Google Analytics to get more quantitative information about user behavior, as well as different features you have in your product. So you need to gather all this information critical for you to understand what is happening in the product and if it is actually solving the problems your users have. So with this information, you need to come to an actionable change that you can do in your MVP. You'll figure out different actionable changes you need to do. Let's say one feature is not working well, you can find about that from feedback and metrics you're gathering, and you can improve that feature. Let's say there is a feature that your users doesn't actually use or doesn't solve the problem they have. Maybe you can eliminate that. So likewise, you have to continuously improve the product. You need to create a feedback loop where all the feedback you gather, you analyze it, and then you turn them into actionable changes in your MVP, so you can continuously improve your MVP, which will help you to achieve product market fit eventually. So this is the process that I have followed in many startup projects I've been involved in, and it has worked for me. If you have a different process that you follow or different processes that you are looking at, I would love to see it in the comment section below. And if you think this information is valuable, give a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to hear more about business, startups, and technology. See you next time.